So hello guys, welcome to Leaves and Lungs. So today we're going to continue the series on economic survey. So we're going to see chapter 1 part 2 of the lecture. So post demonetization, India is facing huge global challenges, mainly the first impact of Brexit, that is when United Kingdom decided to withdraw from the European Union, and also the electing of Donald Trump as US president is posing serious risk, unleashing paradigmatic shift in the direction of isolationism and nativism. So recently the retreat of United States of America from the Trans-Pacific trade, that is TPP, and also like curbing visas of all the seven major Muslim nations, and also keeping hand over H1B visas. So this could affect India's skilled workers working in the software companies of United States in the Silicon Valley everywhere. And given that India's growth ambition of 8 to 10%, India requires more of export growth, that is like it should increase its growth by 15 to 20%. So any serious retreat from openness in their economy would jeopardize their ambition. So India should allow more openness in their economy if they want to keep up their ambition spirits tail up. And the third thing is, the decline in oil had imparted dynamism by increasing private consumption. But right now, this year is very important because the source of the short-term dynamism may be taken away as international oil prices are now on the rise. So since the international oil prices are on the rise, it is also like a serious threat that is also poses to our economy. And the next thing is, any changes in the US fiscal and monetary policy will ultimately going to affect India's capital flows and exchange rates, because USA is one of the most important partner to India in terms of trade as well as soft powers as well. So any change in the US fiscal and monetary policy will ultimately affect India's capital flows and exchange rates. So the next serious threat is the rising dragon. So if China is able to successfully rebalance its economy, the spillover effects on India and the rest of the world will be like positive. But in case if they further decline and the yuan progresses, even if it is by dollar induced, this could seriously interact with underlying vulnerabilities to create disruption in the China that could also have a negative spillover for India. So if anything happens to China's economy, ultimately India's economy is also going to be severely affected. So because both are in the same page, so that is why China's economy should be positive. So the next thing is the economic outlook. So economic outlook is basically nothing but it is the progress card of the economic parameters, or how India has fared in its last years in the terms of economic performance. So if you're not interested in any numbers, or if you don't want to know anything about these things, you can quietly skip it, because this is like more of like a factual data. So these are like self-explanatory. You can pause the video, you can just read it as such. So anyway, I'll just read it for you once again. So there was like the real GDP in the growth of the first year was like 7.2. That is, in the initial part of the 2016 it was 7.2, but later it was hampered severely due to the implementation of the seventh pay commission. So okay, so this is where the GDP dropped. And also, like in sector wise, agriculture showed improvement due to good monsoons. So last year we had a good monsoon, so agriculture showed up great improvement. And also in retail inflation measured by consumer price index stood at 3.4% for December 2016, but there was a fall in agriculture prices, especially of the pulses, due to bountiful monsoons, and in partly due to demonetization. Okay, so since all agriculture is mainly depends upon the ready-made cash, that is with the inflowing cash, demonetization has put a severe foothold over these sector. So that is why there was a drop or fall in the agriculture prices. And wholesale price index was dangerously low in August 2015 at minus 5.1%, but it bounced back to 3.4%. So these are like very what to say, these are like trivial points you could just add to your essays, or you could just add to your mains answer, but these are like not asked in your prelims, so it's better to skip if you really don't want to watch it. So the next thing is like agriculture growth is expected to be at 4.1% in 2016-17, up from 1.2% in the last fiscal. And also the fiscal target of 3.5% of GDP will be met for this year. Okay, so like these are the important other things you can go through these as well. So since state government is also struggling, their consolidated deficit has increased steadily in the recent years. that is from 2.5% to 3.6. So this is partly because of their Uday scheme. Uday scheme is nothing but Ujjwala Discom Assurance Yojana. Okay, so this is mainly related to the power sector. And the current account deficit, CAD is current account deficit. So current account deficit is nothing but the balance between the exports and imports. It declined by 0.3% in the first half of 2016-17, and also foreign forex, that is foreign exchange reserves, stood at 360 billion, that can cover up 12 months of imports comfortably. Okay, but the foreign direct investment, that is net FDI inflows, also grew by 3.2% in second quarter of 16 to 17, but it has declined. Trade has declined by to 23.5% in December to 2016 due to contraction in imports, mainly due to the demonetization, and also some software exports slowed, and financial services declined in 2016 and 17. So guys, as I said earlier, these are like not important, but these are like factual. These can be a supplementary to your main answers. Okay, so if you're really a fan of quoting numbers and also quoting data, you can use this for your answers. So our economy is still recovering from demonetization, so it will definitely need some policy support. So the banking system which had a benefit, which had huge benefit from high level of deposit due to demonetization, has to perform really well. So the market interest rates, that is the deposits, lending, and the yield on their government securities is going to be very low in 2017 to 18. Since the money has contracted in the economy, they has to give it in the low rates. So this will provide a boost to the economy as well. And also fiscal policy is another potential source of policy support. How government is going to implement the fiscal policy is the potential source for this. And also for the use of any fiscal windfall, the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana should be deployed to strengthen the government's balance sheet rather than being used for government consumption, especially in the form of programs that create permanent entitlements. Okay, so any program that is entitled to create a permanent entitlements should be focused upon rather than government's consumption. Okay, so this is also one of the important stance. So the most important reforms to boost growth will be structural. So they're going to be on this strategic disinvestment. So disinvestment is withdrawing their investment or withdrawing supplying money to a firm or anything. Okay, so next thing is tax reforms and subsidy rationalization, and finally to create a public sector asset reconstruction company which will give you a valuable feedback. So also the economic survey has given special importance, and also like the concept of universal basic income will be dealt in the upcoming lectures, and these are the things that is going to be dealt exclusively under economic survey umbrella. Okay, so like the twin risk to India's competitiveness, the climate change, how India is going to tackle climate change, and ensuring women's privacy, and how India is soon going to receive demographic dividend, and also we're going to talk about distinctive Indian demography as well. So guys, this is like a overview of what we're going to see. This is just an index of an economic survey. So, but you have to know how India has fared in its economic growth. So without knowing this, it is no use of reading the complete economic survey. So guys, stay tuned for more and more awesome videos. So if you really like the video, do give your comments, do like, do share, and spread the word to everyone, because we are doing it for the purpose of the people who can't afford coaching. And finally guys, subscribe to our channel if you haven't. So we'll see in the next video. Thank you.